Yeah, it's Sequel September! Yay! Hi, thank you for checking out this video. My name is MaryEllen with Portraits of Me, and I'm so excited to share with you some books I'm reading for the month of September. Back in June, when I made my mid-year freak out book tag, I realized I had a lot of sequels that I had to get to, or else I'm going to forget what the first book was about. So I designated September my Sequel September month because I am looking forward to receiving the fourth book in the Three Dark Crowns series, and I need to read that book like right away. So I figured, why not take this whole month to read those books that I was so excited about when I read the first one and couldn't wait to continue the series. So not all of these sequels are the second book in the series, some are the third, and as I just mentioned, Three Dark Crowns, it's the fourth book and the final book of that series. So I have 7 books to share with you. I'm not going to go into much detail about the books because a lot of these are beloved books that are hyped up on BookTube as it is, and I really can't tell you what the second, third, or fourth book is about because I don't want to spoil you if you are interested in these books. However, I would like to know if you guys are reading any of these series. I would love to know that, so please share that with me. And I'm going to do this in alphabetical order, and this is probably the order I'm going to read them as well. So let's get to the first book. So the first book I want to read this month is this book right here. It is the second book in the Renegade series, and I am so looking forward to finding out what happens to Nova and Adrian, the 2 main characters of this series. Now this book is really good for those who love superheroes. If you like to read about powers and superheroes, this might be the series for you. Plus, Marissa Meyer is such a great writer. I really flew through that first book and cannot wait to fly through this second book as well. Oops, I'm dropping it. The second book I want to read this month is the third and final book in the Caravel series, and this book is Finale. This is actually a special edition that I received in my Owl Crate box. I'll put a link in one of these corners showing you that unboxing. It was an exclusive box from Owl Crate and had so many fun items inside. But this is Finale, the final book in the Caravel series, which follows 2 sisters who are enveloped in this world of magic. And there is an adventure for each of them. So the first book, Caravel, follows the older sister Scarlet on her adventure, and then the second book, Legendary, follows the younger sister Donatella. And then this book, I'm not sure because I haven't read it yet, so I can't wait to read this book. I'm hoping it's a nice, well-rounded finale that includes all the characters and whatever mystery that this book is about. The third book that I want to read is the second book in the Illuminate series. This book is Gemina, and I have heard so many great things about this book that it's a lot better than the first book. Do you agree with that assumption that it's going to be better? Because of everybody who read it, that's what I've heard. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one because I really did thoroughly enjoy Illuminate. I love the sci-fi thriller aspect of that book, and I like the twists and turns it took you on. I also like the multimedia format of the book. So it's written in like emails, interviews, just a fun adventure, not only following the characters, but also just the format of reading it is lots of fun. So I'm looking forward to reading this one and finding out if the same characters are in this book, how they're connected, how it's a trilogy. So I don't know much about this book, but I'm looking forward to continuing that sci-fi kind of feel that I had with Illuminate. Okay, next book. Oh, I don't have it because the next book that I want to read is 5 Dark Fates, the 4th book in the Three Dark Crowns series. So I am a huge fan of this series. I have enjoyed the first book, the second book, the third book, and I am totally invested in these characters. I cannot wait to read the 4th book and to see where the author takes this story, because through those first 3 books, they were some major revelations, some major twists and turns, and what this series is about is 3 sisters all have a different kind of power, but only one can be queen. So they have to battle to the death. Whoever is the last queen standing gets to rule the island. So that's the fourth book that I want to read during the month of September. The fifth book I want to read is the sequel to Strange the Dreamer, and that book is this book right here, is Muse of Nightmares. For those of you who saw my mid-year freak out book tag, I mentioned that Laini Taylor is now one of my favorite authors for this year because she wrote Strange the Dreamer so beautifully. I was like really like brought into that world, into the magic system, into the characters' lives. And I really invested myself in that world with these characters. So I'm very curious to see how the sequel is. I haven't really heard much feedback as to whether this one is better than Strange the Dreamer or if it's a disappointment compared to Strange the Dreamer. So I am looking forward to reading this and finding out how I like it and if I'll continue to like really love this world that Laini Taylor developed. So this is the story about Laszlo Strange and his journey to the hidden or the forgotten city of Weep. So I can't wait to get into that world again and find out more about the characters in this world. Okay, the next book that I want to read in September is the second book in the Scythe series, and that is Thunderhead. So here is another fun book by an author that I'm really discovering and really liking the way he writes, which is Neil Shusterman. And this book is a fun book to read. I really enjoyed the first book. It was an easy, fun, breezy book. And what this book is about, or this series is about, are... well, I should say what this series is about is humanity has conquered death. So people can live for years and years and years and never die. And so they have to designate certain people as scythes so they can kill certain people to make sure that they have enough resources to supply for the people that are living. Because people are, of course, are being born, but if no one dies, that's going to be an overpopulated, crowded civilization, which reminds me about that one Star Trek episode. Have you guys seen that one where the Starship Enterprise goes to this planet and it's supposed to be like this wonderful planet, like a dream planet, but Kirk finds out that this planet is actually really overcrowded and everyone's like walking like this next to each other. There's no place where they could actually be alone, and that's what this kind of reminds me of if there wasn't any scythes to help control the population of this planet, of this world. So looking forward to seeing what the second book entails. Okay, so the last book that I'm going to read this month is the second book in the series, and the series is the Reboot. I'm not sure if it's called anything else. I know the first book is called Reboot, but I'm not sure if that's what the series is called. So the sequel is about Ren, who is a reboot who had died for 178 minutes. So she's not supposed to have a lot of humanity left within her. But I can't tell you if that's true or not because you find out during the first book how that affects her and her being rebooted. But I'm looking forward to continue her adventure in the second book and to find out more about her and the world and the way the system works. So those are all the books I am planning to read. Of course, I have so many more series that I need to get to besides this stack, but I'm thinking this will have helped me get through a lot more than I probably would have if I didn't designate a whole month to reading these books. So let me show you the big stack that I'm going to read this month in September. So here are all the books that I want to read. This does not include Five Dark Fates because, again, I haven't received it yet. It doesn't come out till September, and I should get that any day now because I think the release date's the 3rd. So that's going to be on top of the stack. So altogether I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, which is the norm for me. I read normally between 5 and 7 books a month on a good month. So thank you so much for watching this video. Again, please let me know if you read any of these and which one is your favorite. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I do try to record a video at least once a week. And as always, you guys, have a great morning, day, evening, or night, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye!